Yokoso Freedom Friday, Watashi wa Sensei Jackson Dash, and I am a confident, bold, inspiring, worthy leader. So once again, thank you for joining Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday is a channel that I created that allows me to speak about the things that I have released or working on releasing from my past to allow me to free up my future. It's been mainly wellness and just focusing on how to improve your mind, the things that I've been dealing with and how I've been working through them to be able to get a better outcome or get a better perspective. So this past week or last week, my channel, I focused on releasing pressure. And so this week, kind of along the same lines of releasing pressure, but this week I want us to talk about the freedom of being an advocate for yourself. So I'll say being an advocate for yourself has so many different facets associated with it, right? It's speaking out for yourself. It's actually representing yourself whether or not someone agrees or disagrees with you. One of the people that I look at when I talk about being an advocate for themselves is my child. A few years ago, one of the things that her teachers said that they liked that she advocated for herself. So if she thought things weren't necessarily right or she did certain things, she was very responsible about things that she did, right? So if she turned in her work late, she said she turned in her work late. However, she didn't make excuses, but she tried to work with the teacher to give herself an opportunity to make up grades and things like that. And even if there were things that she wanted to learn more about in class, she spoke up about it. And so that's one of the things that people look at for us in general. Looking at ways that you can speak up for yourself. I feel like for me, one of the things that I was taught early on is sometimes you advocate for yourself and then people perceive you, it can perceive you in a negative light. For instance, just being a black woman, there has been a stigma in the past as saying like strong black women are considered the B word. People don't generally like us. And then to even add on to that is I don't think it's always just the color thing as well or a race thing. I'm a women's advocate at my job, and one of the things that I saw in some of the research that was done was they took a woman and they took a man and they both had the same only thing they did was they gave people information about it and they took out the gender roles. And so when they thought it was a man, people had a different outlook on what the man did. But when it was a woman, the woman was labeled differently from the man, and it was in a more negative light. And some of the people equated it to women are looked more into roles as being able to help and assist others and to be able to support others. So when we're trying to support ourselves, we are not considered in the most positive light. But then when a male might do it, they're looking at them in a more positive light. So that's some of the roots of some of the things that's come up. But my goal today is to switch up the narrative. So one of the ways that we move beyond things is we address the elephant in the room, right? It's hard to move forward if you don't know where you came from and where some of the origins came from. So when I talk about being an advocate for yourself, it's really just standing up for yourself, whether someone else agrees with you or disagrees. You stand up for yourself. A lot of the times in the past, I have advocated for others, and advocating for others meaning like looking at them, seeing that their voice is not being heard, and being in a position to be able to speak for them, to give them an opportunity that they might not have had. Being in a position, sometimes myself, I get the opportunity to advocate for others. What also comes with that is sometimes working so hard for others that I forget to work hard for myself, and I get tired. And what I want to talk about this week is like the whole thing that they talk about when you get on a plane. Like if something happens, you got to make sure you take care of yourself first before you move on to try to help others. And so advocating for yourself really means just giving yourself an opportunity to be heard. Standing up for yourself when no one else seems to listen. You allow people, you put yourself in a position for others to listen to you, for them to hear you, and for them to see you. Advocating for yourself is something that empowers you as an individual. It lets you, it gives you an opportunity to know that you are important, that your words have meaning, that your feelings are valid, and that if it's important enough for you, people will see how important it is for you based off of how you stand up for it. And so that's a part of it. A lot of the times in the past, I haven't advocated for myself because I wanted other people to advocate for me, because I felt like it came better from someone else, or it was perceived better. I didn't want to be looked on as being selfish, being self-centered and self-focused and things like that. However, a lot of the times when I've advocated for myself, other people have gotten benefits of being an advocate. And it's because a lot of the times things that's being said, others are thinking it, but sometimes they're afraid to stand up. And so advocating for yourself starts with thinking about what's best for you. And what's best for you allows you to live the best life for yourself. And when you're living the best life for yourself, others around you end up benefiting from it. I feel like we get an opportunity to focus on the things that's important to us, and it improves our quality of life. So for instance, I've been working with my personal trainer. I've been working with wellness coaches over the past few years. And even when I was working on my dissertation, I worked with other coaches. And there's a time when each of us feel like we need a little assistance. And sometimes the assistance is not in the way that we think it is. Sometimes it's just a little nudge, it's a little push or encouragement to get you to where you need. And when you look for people and you think like, hey, this person, I feel like I connect with them, and you reach out to them and you realize that they're not listening to you based off of how they're communicating with you, you have choices. You can stay and you can allow them to do that, which is overtalk you, not hear you, and then you'll end up being more frustrated. Or you can actually stand up and tell people who you are and what you want for yourself. So, like I said, when I was working on my dissertation, I had an opportunity where I reached out to a person and they said that they would be able to help me. And I really just needed help. Like, I thought I was stuck on how to put my research together to present it. And the person looked at my work, and because they weren't connected to my work as well, which I didn't need them to be connected, but I needed them to just kind of like give me like some words to say like, hey, maybe look at it this way, or just something to help me kind of rearrange my thoughts, because I have a tendency of overthinking things. And so the person pretty much told me I was gonna have to start from scratch. It was like, you have all the ingredients, but they're in the wrong spot. And they never connected with me. And if I had listened to that person, I wouldn't be the doctor that I am today. Not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor of management and leadership, organizational leadership, that is. And so when I realized that the lady wasn't hearing me, I had a choice. I'm like, okay, I paid money, and she gave me her opinion. And her opinion and her assistance wasn't what I needed. And I can remember the person told me, well, you can take my advice or not, but you'll be calling me in a year. So guess what happened? I recognized that she wasn't the person for me. It wasn't the right fit. And the support that I tried to get wasn't what I needed. And so I went back, and started talking to other people, just listening to the things that was speaking life into me, as opposed to something that was speaking against what I was thinking. And it wasn't that I needed a co-signer. I just needed like support. And when I actually went out to other people and they actually was like, yeah, you're here. You're thinking about it the wrong way. You're an expert in your field. So you present it the way that you need to present it. You're almost there. And That was like what I needed. And yeah, I spent money, with the person because I paid for their time. However, it gave me confidence in knowing that sometimes you look outside of yourself for things, and everything that you need is really within you. And so that's what being an advocate for yourself means. You start recognizing that you don't have to look outside of yourself for assistance and for help. Everything that you need is within you. I feel like God has given us the opportunity and the grace to know that He created us for a purpose. And so when we understand that we're created for a purpose, when we start walking in that purpose, we allow our light to shine. So this week, I just want to just remind you, it's okay to advocate for yourself. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of your being. Don't let anyone discourage you from standing up for yourself. You never know who's watching. You never know who else can benefit from it. You never know who else's voice is being silenced because they don't know how to speak up, or some of the thoughts that you might have are things that they can't even articulate for themselves. So be okay with standing out. Be okay with understanding that you have a purpose, and be okay with understanding that you have greatness inside of you. Being an advocate for yourself is everything you need to show up at the best version of yourself in this life. And I just want you to know that the support that you have within you, once you start really stepping out and advocating for yourself, you'll realize you'll have so much more support because people actually start hearing you. They'll see how important you are to you, and then you help other people see their value because you it just expands. It's just like a spark that lights up, and everybody around you gets to benefit from it. So if you like my little talk today, please like it. If you feel like you want to know more, let me know. Thank you for watching, and you enjoy your day. Bye.